Chances are that if you clicked on this video, you need help making some loaded eggs. Luckily for you, I'm an expert when it comes to anything eggs. Now, let's go to the ingredients.
This is a Keith Mejia production.
These are the ingredients we are going to use to make the loaded eggs. Starting off with the butter. The brand of butter I am using is Smart Balance, and the reason why you want to have butter is so that the eggs don't stick to the pan while we're cooking. Next, we're talking about the seasoning.
The only seasonings used in these basic eggs are salt.
Hey, they're not basic.
Yeah, if you say so. And pepper.
Now we're going to talk about what we use to load the eggs. I am using Hillshire Farms Black Forest Ham and Heart Salami. However, you can use whatever you want to load up dem eggs. From different greens, veggies, meats, and many cheeses like mozzarella, pepper jack, American, Asiago, brie, camembert, cheddar. Now, let's talk about the most important part of loaded eggs. Dem eggs. Now, I have white eggs with legs, but there's no need to over-exaggerate on what eggs you use, as long as they are just eggs. Big, small, blue, brown, it doesn't matter. You don't need to exert yourself, as long as you just have any type of eggs. As a recap, you'll need butter, season your choice, anything you want to add to the eggs, and the eggs themselves. Now that we are done listing the ingredients, it is time for step 2. Step 2 consists of grabbing a pan and cutting up whatever you want to put in your eggs. A dirty dish needs to be washed prior to use. I need help.
Before cooking, make sure to check the dishes are clean and ready to use.
Thank you. Remember, always have adult supervision while using a knife. After that important warning, the first thing we're going to do is cut the meat. The way I prefer to cut my meat is to stack them and then dice them. However, if you are going to do it the same way I am, make sure that you keep the cold cuts cold, or else they will get oily and stick together, making it harder to cut. Whenever you use a knife, curl your fingers back, put the flat part of the knife on your knuckles, and use it as a guide to cut straight and safe lines throughout the meat. After cutting everything vertically, turn the cutting board so you can cut everything vertically again into nice little squares. After finishing your yummy num-nums, move everything aside for more yummy tum-tums.
What? After you're done slicing and dicing your cold cuts, move it aside to slice your next piece of meat. What are you talking about?
Nummy. In my tummy.
Okay.
Now that we're done with step 2, it is time to move on to step 3. Now it's time for the most exciting part. Cracking the eggs. Now the next most important thing is to whisk your eggs.
Where'd you get the whisk?
Don't worry about that. And your last step is now to cook the eggs. Make sure you have your eggs that you've whisked, your butter, your cold cuts, or whatever you want to add to the eggs, and your seasonings. Now the first step when cooking eggs is to turn the burner to medium heat. Swoosh. Swoosh. After turning the burner to medium heat, you'll want to grab your mixing spoon and grab a little bit of butter. Now that is too much butter. That's only getting a portion. That's just a little bit of butter. Once you put the butter in the pan, you're going to want to make sure that the butter hits every single inch of the surface on that pan. The next thing you're going to want to do is pick up your bowl of eggs, and you want to pour it into the pan evenly. That way it all starts cooking at the same time. The next thing you want to do is mix the eggs. The bottom is going to start to solidify, and you don't want that to happen yet. So you want to mix them, make sure everything is evenly cooking at the same time. So you're just going to keep on mixing it and let every single part be able to solidify. Remember everyone, you want to keep stirring your eggs so they don't stick to the pan. Now while it's still liquid, we're going to add the seasoning. To really help the flavor, you're going to want to put a healthy amount of seasoning everywhere all over the eggs. Now the last thing to do is add the meats. Now that you have your meat, don't be afraid just to toss them in there. After you get all of it in there, you're going to want to mix it until everything is spread evenly.
Next thing, now you're gonna go up.
After you're done mixing, you're going to turn off the stove. After that, you're going to move your pan off the burner to prevent any damages.
I'm gonna pick this up. What's burning around here? Right down, right off of that. Just like that, and then mix it into it.
Now that is how you make some nice scrambled loaded eggs. Look at it, it looks all nice, it's seasoned well, it has a healthy amounts of cold cuts and everything. Now the last thing you need, the plate.
You're a maniac.